In today's Spurs chat, I'll be talking to Tottenham Hotspur legend and current club ambassador Michael Dawson. We will be reviewing the 2021-2022 season. Of course, Tottenham finished fourth in the Premier League, qualifying for the Champions League. Heung-min Son won the Golden Boot. We will be talking about player improvements, Tottenham Hotspur head coach Antonio Conte, new signings Bentancur and Kulusevski, and we will also be choosing our moment and goal of the season. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. Now, courtesy of channel sponsors William Hill, in today's Spurs chat, I'll be talking to former Tottenham Hotspur defender and current club ambassador Michael Dawson. Of course, he spent 10 seasons playing for Spurs between 2005 and 2014, making 236 Premier League appearances for us, scoring 7 times, making 28 FA Cup appearances, 20 League Cup appearances, scoring once, 40 European appearances for Tottenham Hotspur, scoring twice, a total of 324 appearances for the club, scoring 10 times, and of course winning 4 England caps. Michael, welcome back to the channel. We spoke 6 weeks ago about the push for the top 4. Spurs have done it. We are back in the Champions League. How would you describe this season overall?
Fantastic. Really, really incredible from day one. Being there with the flags, beating Manchester City, what a start to the season! It was amazing. I think everything had gone off in the summer. The way the lads got off to a great start, and then obviously had the dip, and Antonio came in, and things just changed. I think January transfer window was so crucial. Two great signings in Bentancur and Kulusevski. They improved the team. They got us to where we wanted to be. And the main aim was Champions League. After finishing 7th last year, to improve, that's what they were looking to do. And wow, did they. Champions League, you can't ask for any more. Incredible end to the season. And it all comes down to, for many weeks ago, I was saying that Arsenal game could be crucial. And it was. It really, really was. And it was still in their hands. We knew they had a tough game to go to Newcastle. Their home form was incredible. And I think the way we beat Arsenal, it flipped. I thought we'd beat them. I did. But then I thought that it was still in their hands. They had 2 games that you thought, if you'd have said, would we have took being in their position? You would, because it's still in your hands. We had an incredible night. Atmosphere was electric, but it wasn't in our hands at that moment in time. But I think what we did to them that night, the way we beat them, changed after that game. I always knew it was going to be tough for them going to St James's, a club that's improved as well. But what a finish to the season. Credit to Antonio, credit to the board, bringing 2 big players in that got us over the line, and credit to the group of players.
Michael, going back to that Arsenal game, have you known a better atmosphere either at White Hart Lane or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? That night was incredible. Yeah,
it was unbelievable. I mean, look, the Man City game was incredible. It really was. And I loved seeing the flags. The atmosphere was incredible. But that night, we know a North London derby is special. We played in them. But everything was on that game. We had to win it. And the lads knew that. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Before the game, you would have rather been in Arsenal shoes. They were favourites still. Even when we beat them, we were still favourites because it was in their hands. But just the manner, the way the lads were, they were absolutely magnificent, and so were the fans. And then they give you a lift. We knew what we had to do and went out and did it. And then the pressure was on Arsenal. And ultimately, at the end of the day, Burnley game, we did enough to win. Did enough. That's what you would describe as did enough. And then Norwich, you go into a team that's now in your hands, a team that's been relegated, and the form we were in, I was never, ever in doubt. I don't know if you saw the Sky Sports at the weekend. I was very open before the game saying we would finish 4th. And people were saying, you just have to be careful, it might come back. I was confident, and the boys didn't disappoint. They're magnificent. The threat that we've got going forward, defensively, we've been magnificent. So credit to them. And everyone ends the season on top form. Champions League football is where we want to be.
Exactly. I was very confident of that Norwich game as well. And I tell you what, that away end was absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, Michael, Spurs are back in the Champions League, exactly where we want to be. Last season, we played in the Europa League. This season, Europa Conference League. Talk to us about your favourite memories about playing in the Champions League for Spurs.
My favourite memories are obviously in the Champions League is beating AC Milan at San Siro. It was incredible night in the knockout stages. And first season, you talk about going to Man City to achieve something. We did that. We enjoyed it at the summer, and then we went to Young Boys, and it was a disastrous start. You go through the hurt and the pain and the grit to get to where you do at the end of the season, like the lads have this year. They've gone through ups and downs, and ultimately they've got to the end goal. But I think that night, the San Siro, it was a special night. It really was. We went there as underdogs. Certainly a lot of players first times in the Champions League away from home, and Crouchy scoring the goal was incredible. So we had so many special nights. You talk about the lads going there earlier on in the group stages and beating Inter. I was injured at the time, but Gaz, I believe then that put him on the worldwide stage, and that's what it's about, testing yourself against the best. And us as a football club, we've got to do that. We've got the best stadium in the world, arguably the best training centre in the world. So we're proud of that, and you want to be going and having these nights. That's what it's all about, special nights. And you as fans, you love it. Players love it. And I must admit, I enjoy going and watching them games now, that's for sure.
I'll tell you, Michael, since Sunday, I haven't stopped playing the Champions League music. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, it's special.
Talk to me about Antonio Conte, because, of course, he replaced Nuno Espirito Santo early November. Talk to me about him and what you think he has done for this football club, because when you watch the Conte cams, when I go as a fan to watch Spurs play, I think half the game I'm actually watching Antonio Conte, because he, on the sidelines, he's so entertaining to watch.
Yeah. Well, he must be as tired as the lads at the end of the game. And I'm being deadly serious there. He's mentally, physically, he's up and down. He's having to make decisions. He's having to get the team going. He's a leader. He's won everything. He's a serial winner, so he knows what it takes to do that. And he knew the challenge of coming when he came through the door in November. It was going to be tough. He made big decisions in the January transfer. Big players going out the door. But he sees them on a daily basis. He knows what he wants. He knows the way he wants to play. And bringing Bentancur and Kulusevski in have been sensational. They've played pretty much every game since then. And I think credit to them too, coming to a different country, coming to a club, settling in the way they have. Credit to them, and credit to the board for bringing them in, and Antonio dealing and getting the best out of the group of players that were already in the build. That's what it's about. So I think he's been a revelation. He really has, and nothing more that fans love to see is that emotion and desire. And I can imagine he has a drink after every game, because he must be absolutely shattered.
The fans have taken to him so quickly, though, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't not take to him. You watch him, and you just, me being Spurs, if you see another manager doing that emotion, it breeds. I always say it starts from the top. He's the governor. He is what players look to. You look for help. You look for guidance. You tell me what you want, and he demands it. And certainly listen to Eric this week, the way he speaks, tactically very acute, very open. I look the way he is with the players, but he's demanding. So every single one of those players, if you're 1 to 11, they know what they expect, and also the subs. So you have to perform day in, day out. And he's got a group of players that are on board now, and I'm sure he'll keep improving, look to improve the squad in the summer, because you're going to have to. You're now in arguably the best competition in the world. The Champions League is where you want to be, testing yourself against the best club teams. So big games, challenging for top 4 again next year. That's going to be the aim to keep the club in the Champions League.
Michael, you mentioned the new signings in the January transfer window, Bentancur and Kulusevski. Have you ever known 2 players to come in so quickly, hit the ground running, and play so well, and have such a change in a starting 11? Yeah,
massive. And it's not easy to come in a January transfer window. It's not. It really isn't. Are you building for the summer? Are you building? No, they came in to improve us, and they did. They were absolutely incredible, and they were another reason why we certainly, Kulusevski, I think creativity gets down to the byline, and you think, wow, He stands people up. He makes a pass. He scored goals. They've certainly been two big signings. Everyone speaks so highly of them.
Now, of course, another new signing this season was Christian Romero at the start of the season. Of course, as a former central defender yourself, talk to me about Christian Romero, because he looks the real deal, doesn't he?
I love him. Absolutely incredible. He plays on the edge. Makes tackles. I think the way Antonio sets up with him right of a three, I like him there. I think Eric next to him has been incredible. If you play centre of a three, which I did when I went to Hull City, you have to be disciplined. You have to get on the ball. As a wide centre half in Romero or Ben Davies, they go in the wide areas. They have to be able to defend. They go into midfield. And Romero, some of the tackles, I think it was the Leicester game where he went flying and he's made for the Premier League. Yes, we know, I talk about now, tackles, you've got to be careful. Because VAR, everything, if you catch someone, he can go back. What a player. He's comfortable on the ball. He's quick. He's aggressive. What a signing. What a signing.
Now, Antonio Conte, no doubt, has improved every single player in this Tottenham Hotspur squad, but special notes for me, you mentioned Eric Dyer there, and of course Ben Davies, because these two have played out their skin all season, haven't they?
Eric's been incredible. I can't believe he's not in the England squad.
Yeah.
And the way Gareth plays, he plays with a three at times, and he sits perfectly in the middle. He's great on the ball. He starts our attack off, played as a midfielder. And I'm glad for Ben Davies, because he didn't get a lot of football under Jose and then under Nuno. And it fits perfectly. He's getting older. So you think now as a wing back's a different position. I think in Antonio's team, you have to be the fittest players on the pitch. Both sides, up and down. The running them players do is incredible. But yeah, delight for Ben, the way he defends. He can get up, just not as many times as what the left wing back does. Defensively, some of the tackles and blocks he's made, it looks like he's played there all his career. So I'm delighted for him. He's been in since 2014. When I left, he signed, so I had a little bit of time with him. Great guy and important part of the squad now. Knows the football club, been there a long time.
Michael, with all the improvements that Antonio Conte has made this season, who would you say is the most improved player for you?
I think it's a hard one, that improved, because they're all Premier League footballers. And I think one of those that improved, that means sometimes you maybe work to the level. So I don't like to say most improved.
Who have you been most surprised by? I'll put it that way.
I think it's another one. I'm not surprised by any of them, because they're all good players. I think when I did the game for Sky in the first game of the season, Skippy played. And when he was at Norwich, I watched him because I was at Forest and sort of followed his career from there. They built round him, and I said he's got a big future. And now he's become an important part of the squad. He had an injury in the latter stages of the season, but I think he's been magnificent. I think Ryan Sessegnon now starting to believe in his own ability. I think the size of the football club, you have to come in, you have to deal with that. I loved Sess when he was at Fulham, watched him, the goals he scored, and I think this formation suits him as well. He's a fit lad, gets up and down. So I think them two, from the young side, that I would say, I wouldn't say the most improved because of professional footballers, but players that are now, certainly Skippy, his first full season as regarded as a first team player, and Ryan as well.
Michael, what would you say your moment of this season has been? Because I've written a few down. Bergwijn against Leicester. What an incredible moment that was in the dying seconds. Ben Davies' block only a few weeks ago against Liverpool. Antonio Conte saying, if we can't win the match, then don't lose it. We got a point at Brentford. Many people were disappointed by that point, but of course it proves, great to finish in the top four. Also the games against Manchester City, against Liverpool. We didn't lose to either of those two, the only Premier League team not to have lost to one of those teams. Sanchez's 96th minute winner against Watford on New Year's Day. Many key moments and real proof of progression and improvement under Conte.
I'd probably say Harry's goal at the Etihad. I just think it was so important at the time. Man City, who I speak so highly of. I love watching them. They're an incredible team. They really, really are. But the way we went there and played, and goals going on, Harry getting the header so late on, I'd probably have to say that, just because it's Man City. the Premier League winners and we took 6 points off them. Incredible. And it suits us sometimes playing the teams. You look at us going to Anfield, home against Liverpool. We're a top team. We are top team with top players. And like I said, now I'm on the other side, working as an ambassador, working as a pundit. You watch it, you look into teams. You have to do an awful lot of research and watch different games. Sensational players. That's what they are. You named a lot of those times. I think Bergwijn at Leicester, it was incredible how that ever happened. I still don't know to this day. And Leicester probably don't either. It's just the emotions of football. It's why we love it when you're on the right end of it, not on the wrong end.
Yeah, exactly. Michael, your goal of the season, mine probably has to be Heung-min Son against Leicester. And of course, scored a fantastic one at Norwich as well. But so many great goals this season. Yeah,
the counter-attacking we play, some of the goals against Newcastle, I think when Harry picked the ball up over to his pass to Sonny in Newcastle. There's so many. You can go through every one and they're all different in the way you do it. A 1v1 bit of quality. His goal against Norwich. But I think his left foot, where I was right behind that one, where he chopped in and he sent it past Michael. It was an incredible finish. And yeah, I'd probably go with that. There's so many because they all mean different things. Harry's header, different kind of quality. Kulusevski gets chops inside and puts it in the box. Different periods in the game and season that means so much. One just to stand out, I think, is hard as well because it wasn't one that you got. I scored from the halfway line. It was an absolute. But one of Sonny's 23 must be up there, surely.
Can I just go back? When you mentioned that Manchester City game, do you think that was a real turning point where Antonio Conte and the Tottenham players really had belief that we would finish in the top four? Do you think that was the turning point in the season?
I don't think it was a turning point because then after that you go to Brentford and only get a point. And I was like, I know you say disappointed. You think if we're going for top four, they were the games that you think probably need to win. We beat Manchester City, so then you go, well, I think you're going to go to Brentford, who'd had a fantastic season, and you get a point. So I think that as a manager, you probably learn you can't have too many highs and too many lows. You have to try and stay level all the way because you don't look on paper and go, we should win that one and lose that one.
Yeah.
Manchester City, lost three all season, was it? And lost 2 against us?
Yeah.
Maybe that. So you wouldn't have gone on paper, we're going to beat Manchester City and draw someone else. You don't look like that. You go in every game thinking we have a chance of winning this. If we perform, we can win this game. Sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't think that was a turning point because there's been other games where you, like I say, at home, you look at the Southampton and Wolves where we didn't. So you don't then go, top four's gone now. He's trying to have consistency all the way through, and that's why Antonio's a top manager. And when they are down, he picks him up. When you are up, you've got to try and keep striving for the top.
Michael, just a quick word on our captain, Hugo Lloris, the only player to have played every minute of the Premier League this season for the club. Nice to see him staying as well. And, of course, he's just got into the top 10 appearance makers in the club's history.
Absolute legend, Hugo. He really, really is. Came through the door when I was there, so played a lot of football with him. Incredible guy, captain of the football club, captain of France. So glad to see him stay, and rightly so. Deserved his new contract. Age is just a number. He performs. He makes big saves. And you're looking, where do you go and improve that? He's getting older, so that'll happen. But you look at his physique. Like I said, age is just a number.
Michael, I've got to speak about Heung-min Son. Incredible season for him. Of course, Golden Boot winner. Harry Kane got Golden Boot last season. 40 Premier League goals between these two. How would you describe their partnership? And do you think this is the best ever partnership in Tottenham's history?
There's been some big ones. King and Dawson.
I meant right partnership.
I know you did. You think of the Defoe, Keane, Berbatov, Keane, Defoe, Crouch, Van der Vaart, Sheringham, Klinsmann. And there's so many. But look, they are, as a partnership now, the best in the Premier League. Most goals scored and created combined. They're an absolute joy. They are unbelievable. And that's why we as fans and pundits, you want to speak highly of them. Harry getting 17 goals this season and struggled at the start of the season. I always said I am his biggest fan. Never ever write Harry off. He comes back, he makes passes, he scores goals. Sonny, 23 goals and not one was a Premier League. They are an absolute pair of legends. And that's why every fan loves them. They are our heroes.
Michael, lastly, of course, Spurs have just qualified for the Champions League. I am very, very excited as a Spurs fan going forward. Some exciting times ahead. Oh,
definitely. As fans, you'll have great journeys, great trips away. You have to hurt sometimes as a fan, and as players, you go through games that you think, we didn't perform there. But one thing as players, you give everything every time you go on the pitch, and sometimes it's not enough. You don't get the rub of the green at times. But credit to that group of players, credit to Antonio, and they'll enjoy the summer. And most of them on international duties, and they'll come back and they'll have to do it all again. And the bar is so high. And say the Premier League's the hardest in the world, and the best in the world. So to finish top four will be another challenge. We keep improving, and we'll certainly enjoy some good nights in the Champions League, and rightly so, because that group of players deserve to be in it.
I can hear the music again. Michael, thank you so much. Can't thank you enough for coming on again, and enjoy your summer.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.